On Sundays, we would carry empty jam bottles and walk down to the sea under the strict supervision of our ayahs or nannies. The jam bottles were there for collecting little fish from rocky pools. Most of the time, we didn't find any fish, but the fun we had made up for that loss.
A friend of mine who makes films and documentaries, she had this very strange project where she was interviewing 5 top people from each category of filmmaking. That means the 5 biggest stars, the 5 biggest editors, the 5 biggest directors. And I had the horrible job of, I didn't volunteer. She asked me and I said yes like an idiot. So I had to fix up appointments with all these people, including Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan. Karan Johar's father was very fond of me, Yash Johar. He was a wonderful man. And he had made a film with Shah Rukh called Duplicate. So I remembered that. So I called him. I said, Yashji, I want to meet Shah Rukh. He said, no problem. Tomorrow go to Mehboob Studios at 3 o'clock, he'll meet you. So I went. At that time, it's many years ago, there wasn't the kind of security and they didn't have all these huge vanity vans or anything. It was like, you just walked into the studio and you walked onto the set. So I waited. And then I spoke to Shah Rukh. He took me behind, there's a kind of, it was a set. So there was, between the set and the wall of the, the floor, studio floor, there was a small gap. So we sat there facing each other. And the wonderful thing about Shah Rukh is that you feel as if you're the only person on earth when he's talking to you. He's gazing into your eyes, you know. So I said, fine. He said, yeah, okay, sure, no problem. Now, after that, the shoot took place. And after that, I got a call from his secretary saying, please deposit 50,000 rupees. And they gave me the name of a patient in Nanavati hospital. So I did a double take. I told my friend, she freaked. She said, what do you think? You're going to pay 50,000 rupees? I was put in a terrible quandary. Like I didn't know what to do. So finally she said, okay, I'll give 25. So I went with the 25 cash, went to Nanavati, paid it. And I thought that's the end of the story. So I wrote about it. So I wrote this story. And then I gifted the book to this friend. And the result was an explosion. She said, you never met Shah Rukh Khan? I said, what? She said, you weren't even there at the shoot. And Shah Rukh never takes any money. I said, do you think I dreamt it all? She said, I don't know, but I don't remember that. It was some producer called Parker. Parker is the one who introduced Shah Rukh to me, and you weren't even there at the shoot. I said it was in Bandstand. I remember very clearly. So there was a pause. Finally I said, let's agree to disagree. That was the end of it. We're still good friends, but I don't think she's forgiven me for this. She thinks I was lying.
One or two stories. So if you have to perform, then what will be your experience? Or do you think that one day you can perform these on stage?
I'm not a morning person, but somehow I managed to get ready by 8 a.m. that day. Then I opened the front door and stood there waiting expectantly to greet Peter. The gate swung open, but instead of Peter, a woman with a fabulous figure, dressed in lycra shorts and t-shirt, wandered in and stood there looking at the cottage and me. The gate was some distance from the house. She promptly started walking towards me, and as she approached, I realized she was the one and only Rekha.
During the shoot of Trikal, I became convinced that there was something in the air of Goa which dramatically increased one's libido and thirst for alcohol. Consequently, the off-screen liaisons were far more interesting than the ones on screen. And almost all the actors would get drunk during the shoot. There was a small bar conveniently situated just outside the gate of the villa, and beer was 6 rupees a bottle.
My only argument for this, or rather in my favor, I would say, is that there is one apt word for any given situation, and I don't want to dumb it down by using a simpler word, because that's the
Correct.
like you get examples of laughing. There's laugh, there's snigger, there's chortle, you know. So it's like you can have different words for every kind of laugh that you have. There's snide laughs, what.
I'm going with a lot of inspiration that those chronicles have also kind of a thing. I think they are now more than 3 years every week later.
What are you waiting for?
I'm just, I think perhaps I was waiting for this inspiration. This has happened this evening.